Yes, my friends, we are just about ready for Winning Wednesday, which you should be excited about. I am, because we got some really exciting things to be able to share with you here in just a moment. Stay with us right here, Winning Wednesday. You're going to enjoy it. I promise you will. That's right. Just 30 more seconds. We're going to be live with you right here with Winning Wednesday. Just waiting for a couple more things here in just a momento. And you won't regret it. Promise you won't. It's worth the wait. Here, Winning Wednesday with Morpheus. You're going to enjoy. Just waiting on one little thing. Stick with us. Share, like, follow if you haven't done it yet, because you don't want to miss out on a really, really, truly exciting project that is going on. Now, it's not something I'm doing, but something that's going on out there. And that's the part of the fun. That's the most fun out of all of this, is literally being able to share these aspects of what's going on in the innovation ecosystem itself. Truly is incredibly, incredibly cool. And you're going to be able to hear that here in just a moment. Stick with us. 30 seconds. All right. Literally 20 seconds. Here we go. Right here, Winning Wednesday. No, you're not seeing things that just haven't put a new screen up there for you here. I'll give you a 1 minute run-in. There we go. 1 minute run-in. You're going to be able to see. Here we go. Thanks for your patience with us. Had a technical difficulty, but we're up with you with Project Refuel here in just 1 minute. We'll say 1 minute, 20 seconds. We're going to be with you. Super, super excited to be able to share. Sometimes you just deal with the technical stuff. Thanks for sticking with us right here. 1 minute. Here we go. If there has ever been the bane of my existence for anything at all, I'll tell you what it has been. It's it is literally been updates to Facebook streaming have been so incredibly painful. I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, I know this isn't a picking a favorite, anything favorite over anybody else, but I'm just saying sometimes it's really frustrating. Thank you for dealing with us with the technical difficulties trying to get the Facebook live stream. We're just gonna have to post it later because the new permissions is just not work. It just wasn't working. But you're not here for that. You're here to talk about the wins right here across the Air Force innovation ecosystem, and we have a really cool one that is so near and dear to our heart here with Morpheus because it's right in line with our human capital efforts that we talk about so many times. Again, you are watching Morpheus, the strategic innovation team, with nestled right in with the Vice Chief of Staff of the Air Force and the Strategic Studies Group. We have the opportunity here on Wednesdays to literally bring the wins from across the Air Force innovation ecosystem, which is so incredibly cool. So wherever you're watching from, if it's interesting to you, throw a comment right down there below. We're watching the comments. And also, hey, Dave, make sure not only we get the YouTube as well, YouTube comments as well. If you're watching from YouTube, thanks for joining, whether it's Morpheus or whether it's one of the cross-stream platforms. We truly love spreading this idea that, you know what, you can solve your own challenges and problems. You just got to step into it. So if you haven't done it yet, make sure you also take just a moment to be able to go over to morpheusaf.com. That's your opportunity to literally head over there right now. That's morpheusaf.com. You can follow along. Several people have reached out over just in the last couple weeks of saying, hey, we're seeing a lot more of Morpheus. What are you guys about? Well, this is a way to be able to go over and take a look at it because morpheusaf.com is right there, your place. You can go to the About page. You can see the Innovation Handbook or the Innovation, the Pathways folder that was created there for commanders to be able to help. If you have an idea, where do you go for that? But morpheusaf.com, your place to go to be able to find out a little bit more about who we are and what Morpheus is all about. A great opportunity for you right there. Also, if you have questions, you can send us an email right here at team@morpheusaf.com as well. But without further ado, you're not here for that. You're here for this. So today we're talking about Project Refuel. Now, we don't have the team with us live right now, but what we do have is a little trailer. Yeah, that's right. A little trailer over to the Disruptive AF podcast that we shot with them here just recently, talking about what Project Refuel is. Now, this is why it's so awesome to me is we've said it before. One of the areas that we focus on is human capital with Morpheus, right? Communicating, connecting to the innovation ecosystem, communicating the awesome things that are happening across it and letting people know how to be able to get involved and where they need to go for this stuff. But also helping to transition projects, transition ideas into a long-term impact and sustainable, which is where Refinery came from, that Major Lawrence Fair works on along with Garrett Custins over at AFWorks Spark. And our last but certainly not least, Dave, I'm telling you, is human capital. That's right. Yes, human capital. Valuing our amazing people. And Project Refuel gets after that real quick. So it really does. It was truly exciting. You can go over to YouTube to watch Disruptive AF or listen to it anywhere that it's live. You can see it. But without further ado, I want to be able to hop over to the clip where we were talking specifically about what Project Refuel is, where it came from, the idea behind it. Just a little clip. It's the thing I want you to pay attention to is simply this. How is it that these ideas that we see happen so often in the innovation ecosystem, how is it that this idea goes from an idea to execution? Like, yeah, it was an idea. Somebody got it into implementation, and the ability for this platform to be able to help you and help me be at our absolute peak best. You know, it's near and dear to my heart. So without further ado, let's head over to it. Project Refuel with DW and GC. Little clip it from Disruptive AF. Excited to be able to have you with us right here. Let's go to it right now. Oh, here. Now I'm going to go to it. You're going to hear a little bit of me, but here you go. Created within each one of us. I'm not talking about the IQ bracket of genius. I'm talking about the kind that really matters. The you behind the screen, every individual that's watching and listening to this. Where did this come from? Because I mean, there's a lot of people have known for a long time there's something to it, but have had a very hard time putting their finger on it. but it sounds like this is what you're doing. Where did this come from? How?
Yeah, so I mean, it really started in industry, right? It was a relationship that started between some of the challenges that I think industry is starting to address and Army is addressing. Our Army stood up in 2020 a program called H2F. And H2F was really kind of focused on how do they leverage holistic human performance technology and bring that into the wheelhouse of a soldier in their fleet, right? Or in their
Yeah.
force. So we kind of peered into that and said, hey, listen, let's collaborate. Let's find out a way to where we can leverage those kind of learning lessons that you're doing in the Army and use that and bring that into our Air Force community as well. And so that started at a phase one, SIBR. And then we competed and said, listen, this is a wicked challenge, right? When you think about service members, they undergo like severe mental, emotional, physical, relational, even moral stress, right?
Yeah.
Often in austere, unpredictable environments. And kind of how does that show up? Well, it shows up in sleep disorders or disruptive sleep patterns or mental, emotional fatigue, relational fatigue, and musculoskeletal injuries, right? So we all have that. It's part of the profession of arms. But how are we doing that? How are we taking care of those people? Like, and how can we leverage what's out there in the marketplace and bring it into the DoD and find a way to take advantage of those kind of skill sets and that content, but also kind of centralize that solution and bring it into something that's very user friendly for airmen and their families, right? So thinking about how can we bring the best in content and technology and bring it into a digital platform for the Air Force. So it's all centralized, integrated, and easy accessible, kind of helping airmen take ownership of their own personal development, right?
Yeah.
So we do that through the Refuel app. And so that's what it is. Refuel is a web mobile application that is bridging what is the best kind of human performance content. And when you think about that, think about your favorite fitness app. So it might be Peloton, it might be you're an Under Armour person like I am. You might have your Under Armour app, or maybe you're an Apple Fit person and you like to use Apple Fit and that holistic health component. Well, guess what? What we've done is we've written an AI algorithm and code and built the platform where we now bring in mental, spiritual, physical, social, nutritional, and guess what? Environmental and occupational domains into one central platform for everybody to use.
Wow.
Pretty awesome.
What in the world? Before we do want to throw this up there before we go anywhere, just would you mind showing what we're looking at? Because this is, I think, this better than anything of just talking about the idea.
Yeah.
This is literally what it is. I mean, so
Yeah.
talk us through that if you don't mind.
Yeah. So what it is basically the last 13 months, we've been on an exploration, right? We saw some wicked problems that we had regarding human performance within the DoD and also in the Air Force. And we started listening to airmen, right? At the end of the day, we have to listen to them. And what are their challenges? What are the barriers they're facing in their life, personally, relationally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually? And so we did that. We spent about 6 months just going out and doing sensing sessions with airmen and say, hey, what are the problems or the challenges that you're having? And then how could we go and find solutions for that using the current kind of things that are out in the business, but also within the DoD, right? To collaborate and find a way to do that. And so we listened to them. And over the last year, the Air Force has invested a nice chunk of funds in kind of building the foundation for the Project Refuel app. And so what we've done is we've just completed that kind of learning phase, and
Yeah.
we've now built the prototype. The first prototype of the beta is going to be up and live and ready to go by the end of next month. And that's going to be really a discovery process, right? Another kind of way of saying, hey, listen, we're airmen. We might understand some of those challenges, but we need you to partner with us to figure out, hey, how can we make Project Refuel even better, right? What are the kind
Yeah.
of features and functions in the app that really can elevate your personal game? And one good illustration is we're doing a partnership with this company called BodPod. BodPod has 5 million users on their app. It's
Wow.
probably the best kind of overall fitness and nutrition, musculoskeletal nutrition kind of platform where on demand content is going to be available to Airmen Guardians anywhere they're at in the world through our platform. and they can do custom workouts. They can track their nutrition, and they can bring that all using all of their wearable devices, right? So if you've
Yeah.
seen Oura Ring and the Whoop and all that stuff, we've got all that technology figured out, and we're making it super easy for airmen to integrate that into one simple platform.
Whoa. So many questions. I'm not even sure where to start. 5 million users using that app right now, and you're taking that, integrating it into what you're doing with what is it that they're doing, that they're what is it that those 5 million users are using like right now with that app?
Yeah, I think GC can speak to this, man. He's actually one of the guys that brought this to our team. You know,
I'm gonna pause there just for a second. Do you know how hard it is to leave me speechless? I don't think you know. If you've known me at all, if you followed along with Morpheus, really at all over the last year, it takes a lot to be able to leave me speechless. But the Project Refuel app did it literally exactly that. It did that for multiple reasons. One, the amount, just the massive amount of information that is able to be brought together, all focused on having you operating at your peak capability and performance. I mean, this win, we talk about taking care of airmen all the time. And if we're going to be 100% honest, I think sometimes we hear ourselves say, yeah, well, we say we do it, but then we also keep on driving forward really hard on the operations and missions. And the Vice Chief of Staff, General Alvin, had mentioned before is that sometimes there is this tension between innovation and mission. It's a real thing. However, it doesn't have to be. What we do have to do is realize that innovation, it's not either or, it's yes and. It is both. We do have to have innovation in the midst of what we do. So when we think about valuing people and valuing human capital and how do we do this best, that's why I was speechless during this amazing podcast, which again, you can go watch anywhere podcasts are available for the audio, or if you want to go over to YouTube, it's going to be posted right after this. You're going to be able to watch that episode there on YouTube, be able to upload it, watch it. Go watch the full episode. But this is why I was speechless, and then we'll get to some of the comment section. It was really, really amazing to me to see that this ability, that commercial industry is doing a really great job of pulling together these attributes, whether it's the physical fitness, whether it's mental, whether it's career progression, all of these elements together, bringing these things to the forefront. Something that I personally use the 5 Bs, which is body, brain, bond, business, banking. That's kind of my thing of how I do and how I use with people. That's what me and myself have used to be able to kind of grow and focus ourselves in what I need to develop in. For this is pulling these things together for you to be able to see where am I at on the level of success. If I'm at my best, if I know what my best is, how do I get there and how do I continue focusing on growing? That is so incredibly amazing. I mean, truly, it is amazing that not only we're able to utilize what commercial industry is doing, but be able to pull all those things together for the use for our airmen and guardians that are out there. That's a powerful statement. And it's a powerful capability. DW and GC have done a phenomenal job. Truly, it was a really, really fun interview to be able to do. You can go see that on Disruptive AF. But it brings up another question. Before we get to the question, I want to tap into what Matthew Connolly, a longtime friend and follower right here, Disruptive AF, it says, does it tap into or integrate with existing Air Force record systems of record, or can it replace the PT test? For example, say if X metrics are met on a Y basis. Really, really great question. Matthew, I don't know. Actually, I'm going to write that down. We'll go back to this and ask. Oh, sorry, you didn't see the comment. I'm going to go back to that, back to DW and GC and ask that, because that's a really interesting piece. And this has been actually brought up with the ability, not only kind of the reformation of what the PT test was, but also looking for that more consistently, holistically healthy perspective and healthy mindset towards ourselves and our airmen, because this is why it's important. I'll just summarize this. You may say, Trigger, why in the world are you focusing so much on this human capital effort? Yeah, innovation. We should be doing things, working projects with things and people. This is why. When you talk about innovation and the great ideas and the great effort and the great work and all of the progress that is made operationally, solving our challenges, solving our problems, bringing these real capabilities to the forefront with our airmen, it is only done through the creative minds, abilities, perspective, talent, skill, effort, energy of airmen. If the buildings were empty and there were not airmen and guardian with their ideas solving the problems and challenges we have, we wouldn't have an innovation. Literally wouldn't be a thing. A door or a window doesn't innovate by itself. No, it requires you, the person with the idea, the person with the ability to go out and do something great. That's why this human capital effort, this creative talent capability that Project Refuel talks about and DW talks about, that's why that's so incredibly important. For me, it's a really foundational thing. If I'm not healthy as a person, if I'm not in a good place, how am I supposed to bring my best self to the United States Air Force? How am I supposed to bring my best self to the operation or to the mission or to a challenge that has been set before us? If I'm not in a good place, it is kind of ridiculous to think or assume that I'm going to bring my best energies, efforts, talents, and abilities to the fight. That's why human capital is so critically important. That's why we as the Air Force and Project Refuel, why we really have to focus in and say, oh my gosh, how do we continue valuing these things? How do we focus in a way that is going to be largely important for making an impact to our airmen so that we can continue solving the problems, being the world's greatest Air Force, and enforcing freedom in the way that we do? We got to focus on our people. We got to focus on where they're actually at. Project Refuel is so incredibly exciting. To clarify, I'm going to shoot over to DW and team and ask not only Matthew Connolly's question, but also the question of when do we get to be able to get access to this? I know he was talking on when we recorded, he was talking about the beta version coming out, but there's many, beta versions roll out all the time. I'll let you know when it's live, but it is coming up. Make sure that you're staying tuned with it. Also, join us next Wednesday for Winning Wednesday, because we're not only going to be talking about the wins that are happening with a human capital effort, but also the educational effort, because we have one of our good friends from the Senior NCO Academy is going to be joining us, talking about how literally they're taking these lessons learned from Wednesdays. I kid you not, from Winning Wednesdays, days just like this, and incorporating them into our Senior NCO, their Air Force Senior NCO Academy, of how best to be able to train our Senior NCOs to help our enlisted personnel and our force as a whole. Really cool. They're integrating lessons like this straight into training. Join us next Wednesday. Following after that, we're going to be talking to Michael Offenbecker, which everybody knows from AFWorks, because there's some really powerful things happening across the spark cells across the Air Force of coming together, crosstalk, kind of geographically identified and pulling people together, not only with mission sets, but also geographically where they're at. Really, really cool things happening for the next couple of weeks. We'll make sure you are brought up and in tune with what those are and how to be able to, consume that great content. So if you haven't done it yet, make sure you do stop by and join us over at morpheusaf.com. A great, easy opportunity for you to stop in there, find out more about Morpheus. Make sure you do subscribe over to the channel there so you do get the updates of this great content right here. In fact, I'm going to show you how to be able to do that here right now. Enjoy. You're welcome. Hey, where are you going? Don't go anywhere. I'll tell you why, is because we got several awesome things you don't want to miss out about. First, you need to go over to morpheusaf.com literally right now. It's super simple. All you got to do is head over there and you're going to see Morpheus, the brand new website. That's right. Start at the top, morpheusaf.com, our homepage, saying simply what we do. You can get the innovation trifold that you're looking for, the information right there. Nope, it's ping, ping, right there. Also, subscribe, get the updates of not only events, but also any information we have to be able to pass to you. And of course, get all of your great content you love from the Air Force innovation space right there. You can also go to the About Us page and projects which will continue to be built out. Just some of the things you can look at right there. The innovation pathways, 9i and 88i information, and of course, the refinery. So don't miss out on those great capabilities that are right there just waiting for you. Also, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you head right over to be able to get signed up, not only at YouTube with Morpheus, but also make sure you subscribe, because honestly, you don't want to miss the great content that's coming each and every time. You really, really don't. So without further ado, let's get back to it right now. Winning Wednesday, Fail Fast Friday, whatever it is that you want, you got it right here with Morpheus. See ya. Well, you know what it is that we're doing here. Winning Wednesdays, of course. So do follow along. Make sure you subscribe so you can get the updates. And thanks for tuning in right here, Winning Wednesday. You've joined Morpheus, your strategic innovation team for the United States Air Force, right here at the edge of innovation. We'll see you for Fail Fast Friday. And make sure to follow along. Matthew, I'm going to ask your question out there to DW and the team. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you on Friday. See you, friends. And always, thanks for supporting right here, Morpheus.